Tonight on DC News Now at 9, a sanitation worker shot and killed on the job.
Put me in this depression. Where can I start again?
The victim's mother with an emotional message for her son's killer. A third body has been recovered in the Baltimore Key Bridge collapse. What we know about the victim as recovery efforts continue. And tonight, Eclipse Countdown. Whether it's on the road or in the sky, millions packing up, taking off from Texas to Maine toward the path of totality.
I hear that all kinds of interesting things happen. I'm just interested in experiencing it.
We're at Reagan National as the travel rush begins.
Hi, everyone. Heading into the weekend, we start to see a big warm up, but let's talk about it coming up.
And a beloved teacher who touched generations of students, now paying it forward. And a beloved teacher who touched generations of students, paying it forward after she died to the community she loved the most.
She wanted to make sure that Prince William County was taken care of.
Her $1 million gift to the school district.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us at 9. I'm Tosin Fakile, filling in for Chris Flanagan. We begin in Baltimore tonight. Just in, dive teams have recovered the body of a third worker killed in that Key Bridge collapse. Maynard Suavo Sandoval's body was pulled from the water at about 10:30 this morning. The 38-year-old was a husband and a father of two. Family says he moved from his home country of Honduras to Maryland nearly 2 decades ago. He was described by his brother as a hard worker and a visionary. Suavo Sandoval was one of the 6 men filling potholes on the bridge when it collapsed last Tuesday. 3 of those men are still missing. And today, President Biden visited Baltimore to offer his support to the city and the victims' families. This as the race to clear the wreckage continues. White House correspondent Raquel Martin reports.
President Biden is pledging the full support of the federal government to help the Port of Baltimore rebuild. He says this must be a top national priority to ensure there is not more economic harm.
The damage is devastating.
The president got a firsthand look at recovery efforts and met with local leaders.
I'm here to say your nation has your back, and I mean it.
The president has promised Baltimore that the federal government will pay 100% of the cleanup and reconstruction of the bridge.
And we're going to get this paid for, aren't we?
How much that will cost is unknown. The bridge collapsed after being struck by a container ship last week. 6 construction workers were killed.
All the families and loved ones who are grieving, I've come here to grieve with you.
Right now, federal and local authorities are racing to clear wreckage, blocking ships from reaching the port. They've opened a temporary channel for smaller vessels. In the meantime, thousands of port workers are losing paychecks daily, and the economic impact is spreading to local businesses.
Simply put, the impact here has a significant impact everywhere.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers predicts the port will be partially reopened by the end of April and is aiming to return to full operation by the end of May. And a bit of good news. President Biden announcing that companies including Amazon and Home Depot have agreed to keep their workers on the payroll until the port reopens. For now in Washington, Raquel Martin, back to you.
Raquel, thank you. And the Baltimore Orioles and Ravens donating a combined $10 million to support relief efforts. The money will go towards the Baltimore County Foundation's Key Bridge Emergency Fund. Now, that fund supports families, first responders, port workers, small businesses, and other communities affected by this tragedy. Quite unbelievable there. That's that rare northeast earthquake that hit this morning, hitting New Jersey, felt as far away as right here in the DMV. Did you feel it? This was out of Middlesex, about 15 minutes from the earthquake's epicenter. It was 4.8 magnitude. Thankfully, no serious injuries or major damage was reported, but it certainly shook a lot of people up, literally. All right, let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. Janessa, how's our forecast looking? And I was wondering, do people still have to worry about aftershocks after that earthquake?
Oh, 100%. Usually they happen, really almost 2 days after the initial quake. You have the epicenter that's out towards areas of Trenton, New Jersey. And so that was about 30 to 40 miles from New York City. And so kind of have these aftershocks that are going to continue across the region up and down the Northeast as we head into really going into your Saturday, possibility on Sunday. You know the timing, 10:23 this morning, so a rare situation for the Northeast where you don't have a big fault line that allows earthquakes to really develop here in the Northeast. It's more of a Pacific Northwest, California, up towards Alaska. You have that big fault line, and so really it's not rare there, but across mid-Atlantic Northeast, don't see it too often. Really haven't seen a magnitude of 4.8 magnitude really since the 1950s, and so it's been quite some time. There's that fault line just outside of New York City into the Philadelphia area, and so we'll continue to watch for those aftershocks. Now, weather-wise, on top of that, you have the storm system that continues to swirl just outside of northern New England, and it's producing a little bit of rainfall and a little bit of snow for areas of the DMV. That wants to dissipate in nature as it flows farther towards the south. Big story is the eclipse as we go into Monday. What does that forecast look like? I have the details coming up.
All right, Janessa, thank you. Well, tonight, the mother of a man shot and killed in Prince George's County, opening up to DC News Now. Her son was working as a trash collector when he was shot and killed in what police believe was a targeted attack. That shooting happened yesterday in the Hyattsville area. Here's DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg with that story.
She was understandably distraught today, asking why she had to lose her son. He was working for a trash removal company right in this area when police found him dead outside of the truck. 30-year-old Idongeset Udosen of Lanham was on the job with Bates Trucking and Trash Removal when he was shot and killed in this Woodlawn neighborhood.
It's my son. Love, sweet, handsome boy.
His mother, who didn't want to show her face, says he was a hard worker.
If he come to work, he doesn't care what it is as long as he make money. He work.
She says he was humble and respectful.
That morning, he came to my room and wake me up. Mommy, it's time to get up and go to work.
Detectives are investigating a motive and preliminarily don't believe this was a random crime.
Why?
Udosen's mother has this message for her son's killer.
He has to stop doing this to innocent person. He has to stop making me cry like this. Because the person who did this, I don't think this is the first time. And he keep doing. Is it fair?
Detectives are working to identify a suspect or suspects.
He doesn't care. But he went and killed somebody. Everybody like.
A reward of up to $25,000 is being offered for any information that leads to an arrest and indictment. If you have any information, call Prince George's County Police. In Woodlawn, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you for bringing us that story. A search for suspects is on tonight in the shooting deaths of two 14-year-old boys in D.C. The separate shootings happening a day apart. Avion Evans was shot and killed at the Brooklyn Metro platform yesterday. Evans was a student at Ida B. Wells Middle School. And then on Wednesday morning, Irving Laborde, another 14-year-old who went to nearby Brooklyn Middle School, was gunned down along Fort DuPont Drive in Southeast. Police are looking for leads in both cases. Rewards are being offered for information leading to arrest. In Virginia, new tonight, Alexandria police charged a woman whose child brought a handgun to school. 31-year-old Alexa Dickens is charged with allowing access to firearms by children. They say her elementary school child brought a handgun to Lyles Crouch Academy on March 1st. The child found the handgun in their backpack and reported it to their teacher. Police did not share how that gun got in the backpack. Well, it's a thing we've all been talking about for days, and we are just days away from that great American eclipse. Now, a total solar eclipse visible across multiple states from Texas to Maine. People now flocking to cities in the zone of totality. Our Marielle Carbone is live from DCA. She's been there pretty much all day tonight, where travelers are already taking flight. So, Marielle, people tell you that they are ready for Monday.
Yeah, they're ready, they're excited, and believe it or not, Tosin, people have been planning their trips for years. Now, here at Reagan, there are several cities you can fly to see the eclipse. Cleveland, one of them, you can see flying 1022 tonight. And as you mentioned, travelers we spoke to, they told me today this is just something they had to see for themselves. All across the country, people are packing up and taking off.
Done with work for the week. I'm relaxed. I'm ready to spend the weekend with my friend and then Monday see the eclipse.
Steve Epley is heading to St. Louis, a trip years in the making to see Monday's solar eclipse.
I hear that all kinds of interesting things happen, like the shadows and everything like that. I'm just interested in experiencing it.
He's not alone. According to the FAA, more than 47,000 flights will be in the sky on April 8th.
Between Reagan National and Dulles International, we have about 15 nonstop flights that either go directly to the total eclipse zone or very close to it.
Rob Yingling with the Washington Metropolitan Airport Authority is taking one himself, heading to Cleveland and back on Monday.
Cleveland has its airport located right in the path of totality. So in the event I experience any issues with ground transportation, my fallback plan is to literally watch the eclipse from the airport property.
I've already been trying to scout for places close to where we're heading.
Altasharo is flying to Nashville, then driving to Kentucky.
Basically, you just take time out of your life for this because it is not an ordinary kind of event.
And this will be her second solar eclipse. Her first one sticking with her.
It seemed like for hours we were kind of walking around, unable to stop talking about it, even though it only lasted a few minutes. The experience was remarkable.
And so if you are traveling, officials say to make sure that you have a plan. So if you're flying, don't miss your flight. If you're driving, give yourself some extra time for traffic, and also be aware that there could be some shortages for things like rental cars and lodging. Reporting live from Reagan, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Marielle, thank you. That excitement definitely infectious. And as you mentioned, something to keep in mind if you're renting a car in the path of the eclipse. When it's time to go home, you'll want to drop that vehicle off as early as possible. In Texas, Austin's airport's car rental service telling people to plan for a 3-hour wait on Tuesday. Good God. In the past, officials say instead of properly dropping off the rental cars, some left them in the middle of the road at the airport. Yeah, you don't want to do that. If you try that, your bank account will pay for it.
If they don't get to where they're actually supposed to return the cars, we've got to send somebody to get that car. They're going to charge that customer.
You heard it there. And if you're not returning a car, TSA says you'll want to arrive at the airport at least 2 hours before your scheduled flight. Be prepared for long lines at airline ticket counters and security screening checkpoints. And if you're driving during the eclipse, AAA is urging you not to look up while you're behind the wheel. Find a safe place to park, and then you can look only if you're wearing eclipse sunglasses. Do not attempt to drive with those eclipse sunglasses. Don't do that. It's also a good idea to drive with your headlights on when the eclipse starts. This will help you see better. And here in the district, the Solar Eclipse Festival on the National Mall kicks off at noon on Monday. People will be gathering between 4th and 12th Streets. It's a free event with only a limited number of glasses available. And DC News Now will air a 1-hour special on when partial solar eclipse will hit the DMV. That begins at 2:30 with our very own Chris Flanagan and Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. They'll be live on the National Mall, so if you see them, say hi. We'll have team coverage across the DMV as well. Trust me, you do not want to miss it.